We are back on Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast with this is like a double crossover. This is an NWA Spotlight and it's a Talking Territory show rolled into one. And first things first, I must welcome our beloved co-host Fiona. This is your first Talking Territories. You missed the first
I
one.
know, I'm excited to be here, so this is cool. I'm looking forward to this one.
You left me high and dry with the Grand Regent Camaro.
I know life got in the way yesterday. I'm sorry. My bad.
Unbelievable. That doesn't matter because you're back for this one. And today we are talking to one half of one of the best tag teams in the NWA, someone who has just come through a grueling first round match in the Crockett Cup, which we'll get to in a minute. One half of the country gentleman, Mr. KC Cazana. How are you?
I'm alive.
That's a win.
We'll take that as a win. Yeah, this week on Power, the Crockett Cup round one, the Samoan Savages certainly lived by that name. It was a grueling encounter.
Oh, yeah, and going against any Samoans ain't going to be an easy task. No. I mean, me and AJ, when we saw the rankings or whenever they put out the polls or whatever they were called, the bracket, that's what the word I'm looking for. It's like we're wrestling these Samoans, part of the Samoan dynasty.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough task regardless.
Yeah, it's
just you talking about the rankings there, going straight into it, if you don't mind. Obviously, you and AJ have been ranked 11th. How did you feel coming in against guys who are new to the NWA, who got ranked like 5 spots higher than you? Like, what's that all about?
It rubbed us a little the wrong way a little bit, if I'm being 100% honest. But the way Mr. Corgan explained it when he was on commentary, he was like, AJ's done all this stuff. He's a former United States Tag Team Champion. He's been in the NWA for 2-3 years now. I'm a new kid. I'm a pup. AC hasn't earned any stripes yet, so that helped. I'll bring the rankings down. My bad, AJ. I'm sorry.
Well,
that's how I put it.
You brought the rankings down, but you managed to get through, which is the main thing, and you are through to the next round of the Crockett Cup. But what would that mean to the country gentlemen winning that prestigious tournament?
I think we would be the second set of brothers to win the cup, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
The Briscoes have won it.
They have, yeah.
Only set of true brothers I know that's won it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I haven't done my history lessons recently, but I'm only a year into professional wrestling.
Yeah.
I think it would evolve my career into the next stage. It would evolve AJ's career into the next stage. And then I think we get a shot at the world titles at that point.
Yeah.
So we win the world titles. I'd probably be one of the youngest world champions, guy-wise, in the NWA, in NWA history. So I'm only 22 years old.
Yeah. You are just a pup.
Baby.
It's crazy to think, though, you've only been wrestling 1 year and you're already, not only are you in one of the most prestigious tournaments in wrestling, but you're also in one of the prestigious companies in wrestling in the NWA with all the lineage. As someone so young, and obviously you're not the youngest guy, we've always mentioned the Page sisters who are absolutely killing it also, but it must be really good for you and really satisfying being so young and being in a company with that much prestige.
Oh, it feels great. Like, I'm humbled to be there. I don't deserve to be there, but I'm there. And so I'll tell you a quick story while I'm thinking of it. Whenever at NWA 75, something happened with AJ's old partner. They ended up losing the straps. Then AJ's left high and dry. The next thing you know, I'm getting asked, hey, just making sure you got your stuff, right? I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know if I was going to get to wrestle or get to do anything. So they come up to me the day I'm supposed to wrestle, had no idea. Everything's in the car. I'm like, okay, I'm just here to ring the bell. I'm the ring bearer. And then I got told, hey, you're wrestling today. I was like, cool, what am I doing? Oh, your debut match is against the NWA United States Tag Team Champions at the time, which was Daisy Killing Tacos. And I was like, that's insane. That was my first match in the NWA.
That's quite a baptism for you.
That was supposed to be a one-off show. Like, I wasn't supposed to come back. They're like, okay, the kid can go in there, wrestle one match, get his butt kicked, and be all right. But then I think Billy saw, wait a minute. this kid might have it. And so I've been asked back ever since. I keep going. I love it. I keep going.
And how is it tagging with your brother? How's that? Is that different from tagging with someone else, for example, for you because of the relationship that you already have?
We won this tag team title. It's the Bubba Amick Promotions Tag Team Championship. Let me turn on the light so you can. Oh my goodness! It's the Bubba Amick Tag Team Promotion World Tag Team Champions. So if I could come over there and defend these we wanted to, this is what I won with my brother. But then I have another tag title that I won with Tyler Shoup. We are the SBCW Tag Team Champions.
Nice.
And I won this one. It's when I tag with Shoup, it's definitely a different dynamic when I tag with AJ.
Mm-hmm.
When I tag with AJ, I'm the little one. I'm the one I'm the little one that's supposed to get my butt kicked. That's supposed to, be the kid.
Yeah.
But when I tag with Shoup, he's smaller than me. So I'm like the AJ of that tag team.
Got you.
And I was KC3 belts at one point. We recently lost the East Tennessee tag team titles at School of Morton. And I tagged there with Michael Gabriel and Evan Golden. We're called the Gen 3 Express.
Okay.
And we recently lost the belts to ICT, which is Ice Cream Truck. It's a great
What
name.
a brilliant name.
But at one point it was tag team champions at 3 different companies with 3 different partners.
Wow, okay. That's quite impressive.
Yeah.
That happened with AJ at one time in his career too. So I said, I guess the common denominator is in tag team wrestling is Cazana.
Yeah.
So
I tell you what, though, you talk about great names, Ice Cream Truck. I agree. We should get the Country Gentlemen to go to Wow's to take on our sponsored tag team, Beers and Beatdowns. That
sounds like a great fight.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea, actually. I quite like that.
Danny and Blanche, book it for Pro Wrestling Carnage. That's for sure. That's where they're from. Just going back to the Crockett Cup quickly. I mean, you beat the Samoan Savages, but next you've got the number 3 seeds, which are the Southern Six, probably one of the favorites for the tournament. And you don't really know what members of the Southern Six you're facing because they can do Freebird in this, right?
Yeah, it's like Freebird. I mean, Silas is Terry Gordy.
Yeah.
He was Gordy in the Iron Claw.
Yeah.
It's we don't know what we're getting into, but we saw, I think the combination that wrestled in the first round was Kerry and Silas.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to make the assumption that's the only way they can beat us.
Okay.
Because Kerry and Alex all 3 of us make up AJ.
Yeah.
Like I have an unhinged brute in my corner, and they just have Ricky Morton.
Never trust Ricky Morton, though. We've been watching him. You need to have eyes on the back of your head when he's ringside.
Maybe you need to bring Joe Cazana in for that.
I think Dad is our manager. I think he's going to make the trip with us to when we do the Crockett Cup.
Yeah.
And he's going to come with us and be our manager there. But we're assuming, son of a gun. I'm sorry, I'm back. My phone gave me the 20 battery. Be Silas and Kerry.
Yeah.
That's the only logical way they can get up on us.
I think doesn't Alex, doesn't he have a shot at gold at the Crockett Cup? Different gold, isn't he not going against?
He might, I have no idea. I just worried about what I'm.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I thought Alex might have had a title shot against Joe Alonso.
I think he has got a title shot for the
Joe Alonso.
I can't remember which championship belt it's for now. That's terrible. My bad.
Yes. But anyway, moving swiftly on. Let's talk JCP.
Let's talk.
Yeah, that is like talking the territories. Obviously, it is a territory now. How important? How important is it for the future of the NWA that they did bring the territories back to bring in that next generation of talent from the territories?
I think it's a great idea. When they were talking about this idea when AJ was first in the NWA, like Billy and Dad, because Billy's a big wrestling fan.
Yeah,
sure.
and he talked to Dad and was like, "Hey, how about?" He's like, "I know you run a promotion in East Tennessee. How would you think the territories would do if we brought them back?" And I'm pretty sure you saw the pictures from when we did this Return of the Territory show.
Yeah.
There was over 1,100 people at Carnes High School.
There was a great crowd from what I can see. It looked fab.
It was almost standing room only. The very top part of the bleachers you could go to, or I mean, you don't want to sit there. You want to be close to the action.
Sure.
But I think it's a phenomenal idea. We have 4 territories right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
4 territories, and I think we have 2 sister promotions right now with us. 2 or 3, if I'm not mistaken. I know we have NWA JCP, NWA Exodus, NWA KFW, and NWA Chicago are your 4 true territories right now.
And you've got Crossfire as well.
NWA Cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think MLW was not MLW. World League. That's what World League there. And then Fight the World.
Fight the World in Florida. That's Florida based, isn't it? Yeah.
I think we have, that'll be 6. So we have 4 true territories, and then right now 2 sister promotions.
Wow, that's, you know what though, you need an English territory.
A British one, thank you very much.
A British territory, definitely.
I'm gutted. Billy's actually.
Oh, I think he's Florida. Is he not?
Billy's over here now. Yeah.
He is. He's in the UK on tour just now. His tour starts, I think, tomorrow. And I'm so sad that he didn't do what he did in Australia and bring you guys over, because I'd have been totally up for that. So it just didn't work out, I guess, logistically.
I think when they did Australia, they were the headliners. So Billy could do whatever he wanted. I don't know if they're headliners.
He's headlining. It's a full Smashing Pumpkins tour across Europe.
You can have a talk with him.
Yeah, he's in Glasgow on what day are we? He's in Glasgow tomorrow night, I think.
Yeah.
I should just turn up and be like, "Why, Billy, sort it out."
Bring the guys over for sure. We'd love an NWA tour over here in the UK for certain. Casey, let's just move on. I mean, going a bit further down the line, you mentioned NWA 75. We're soon to be heading to NWA 76. And it's not just a prestigious show for the NWA. It is a prestigious location, especially if you're a little fan of a company called ECW, which a lot of us were. We couldn't really get it over here in the UK, so we had to rely on what little internet that we did have. But talk about being a part of, I'm assuming that you're going to be part of that 76 and part of such an iconic location.
When they announced that we were in the ECW arena, because we're usually in St. Louis for the 74 guys, but they are like, "Hey, we're going to be, it's 76, going to ECW." They go ECW arena. I was like, this is lit. I'm doing everything I can to be a part of this show.
Yeah.
To say I've wrestled in the ECW arena. I would, at 22 years old, I've wrestled in ECW arena. That's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, it's not even just, you know, the lineage of the NWA. It is everything that went on there. Like, we love the NWA also because you mentioned, like, you had 1,100 people there, and it's normally this, you know, quite intimate, although they've got quite a lot of people, but it's like an intimate setting. And Fiona, when you went, you were saying that the best part about it was you're literally there on your lap.
You are there. There's no, like, particularly at the TV tapings, there was no barriers when the action spills out the ring. They are literally spilling out onto your feet and into your lap. And I love that aspect of it. The whole new production and everything as well, since you've moved over to CW. Obviously, you've been there. You were there pre-CW, aren't you? Yeah. So you were there. Yeah. What sort of the changes that they've made moving from YouTube onto the CW? How do you feel about them? What's your kind of thoughts on the increase in the production values and things like that?
I personally like it. I know, like, there's always pros and cons. I'm going to look at it both sides. The pros, it's like we're on a mainstream platform. A lot more eyes are on us, but it's like not a lot of people overseas can get it. And it's also one of those, like, Yeah, but it's like it works better for us in the long. I think it saves Billy a lot of money. I think he makes more money because making money on YouTube is like you get pennies. Is what happens. It's like it's not the best, but I mean you can make a living on it if you do it enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, we're currently watching through a VPN just now because obviously we can't access it over here. So we had to get VPNs to watch the new season. So
yeah. The things that we do for the NWA, but we love doing it and we love watching it for sure. I wanted to make a quick point because obviously being on the CW and soon to be on the CW, if they're not already, will be NXT of WWE, obviously NXT. Now we've seen a little bit of where they're kind, with TNA branching into NXT and perhaps NXT branching into TNA. I wonder if Billy would be up for a bit of collaboration in between the two companies and perhaps having some NXT or TNA talent appear, or well, maybe not TNA, but maybe NXT talent appear on NWA.
I'd like it. That'd be a phenomenal. I told somebody, I was like, if I won't say, it's like he who should not be named anymore in wrestling. If it VM, I'll do his initials.
That's all right.
He was still there, this wouldn't be happening.
No.
Sure. I think I can't disagree with that at all, to be honest with you.
With Triple H being the head of everything right now, it opens a lot of doors for TNA, a lot of doors for WWE. There's no wrong way. I think everyone in professional wrestling should support each other. Because everybody's watching everything. If you like wrestling, you're going to search on YouTube professional wrestling, and if NWA pops up, you're going to watch it.
Yeah.
If WWE pops up, you're going to. If I have a WWE contract, I'm going to watch NWA. I'm still going to watch NWA. Yeah. Like I'm just because there's a lot of good stuff you can take from it. The storytelling's good, and it's the longest running promotion in the world. I would think 76 years.
Yeah. It's impressive. It's got a hell of a lineage, that's for sure.
Assuming, let's just play fantasy booking here, Casey. Now, assuming the WWE did open the so-called forbidden door to NWA and the country gentlemen were on, maybe the WWE comes to NWA and the country gentlemen are waiting in the ring, which tag team does KC Cazana want to face in the forbidden door?
Oh my goodness. I can tell you AJ's answer, and it's not a WWE team. AJ's answer will always forever be FTR.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a nice old school match. It'd be Dr. Tom would be proud of that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who would I? Oh my god, that's a good. I don't think of like that. I'm trying to think of tag teams in the. Probably. I mean, I'd like to wrestle the Usos. Obviously, I mean, if they ever get back together, the Hardy.
It's purely fantasy, so you can go with the Usos as they were. That's not a problem.
It's like you got the Hardy Boys too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I like it. Brother tag teams. Obviously, I picked two of them. Who's there now? I'm trying to think who's there now that would be worthwhile.
What about a team like NXT's Gallus? So you've got Mark and Joe the Kofi brothers, who are from my hometown, and you've got Wolfgang in there as well, so they could freebirds it.
What's their Gallows and Anderson? That's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, because I think Luke Gallows, he is a big fan of my dad. Surprisingly,
okay.
Whenever he wasn't signed to the WWE before they came back, they did a seminar at the School of Morton up in Chucky. And who did I say? Luke Gallows, right? Yeah, he was there. And AJ, I wasn't wrestling at the time, but AJ was like, "Hey, I'm AJ Cazana." He goes, "Cazana? Like Joe Cazana?" And AJ was just like, "No way, you know who my dad was."
That's kind of cool.
He was a big Smoky Mountain Wrestling fan, is what AJ told me.
Right.
So he remembered Dad, Dr. Tom. That's what I was like. No way, someone like that knew who my dad is. I was like, I keep forgetting my dad was a wrestler back in WCW, WWF, NWA, Smoky Mountain.
Yeah.
All these people. Like I recently Ricky Steamboat. And I was like, hey, Kazana. He goes, Kazana? That name sounds familiar. I was like, you probably know my dad, Joe Kazana. He was like, yeah, I remember him. I was like, no way.
Because you're you and AJ, you're third gen, aren't you? So
Third
your
gen,
grandfather.
I always tell people we can arguably, whatever the word is, be fourth gen.
Okay.
But Dad says, no, we're third generation wrestlers. I was like, okay, whatever you want. It's our great grandfather John Kazana was a wrestler. My Yaya, which is my grandmother, she was in the ticket office.
Okay.
And Dad was a wrestler, and then now me and AJ are wrestlers. So technically, we've been in the wrestling business for 4 generations, but we're only third generation wrestlers.
Got you.
I got it.
So I said we could make the argument for fourth, but I much rather say third generation wrestler.
That's fair. That is fair. Casey, I know you're a tag team wrestler, obviously on the NWA. You know, potentially in the NWA, you could go singly. I would really like to see you lock horns with the Overman.
I would love to. I would love to. He's done a lot of stuff I would love to do in the business. I mean, he's the current heavyweight champion.
He is, yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to go lock up with the heavyweight champion?
Exactly. But there's also a bit about the learning side. I mean, you are, as you say, you're only 22. So going in there with the likes of, you know, an EC3 or even learning from your father, you're constantly learning. So even sometimes just going in there against someone like EC3 would be such a great learning experience. Do you make sure that when you're there that you do have those guys watching you and making, you know, giving you that advice? There's so many people there that you can get advice from.
Absolutely. I always have if Dr. Tom's ever there, he's always watching. He's my trainer. I'll always respect his opinion. He's always watching my match. I always would love for him to watch. I always ask Trevor Murdoch. Ever since they beat the crap out of me, they taken a liking to. Having Murdoch and Knock watch. I always ask them to, and if they don't get around to it, I'm like, I get it. You guys are the top guys. You're busy. It's not going to break my heart.
Yeah.
Aaron, even phenomenal one that I would. He's coming to my hometown next week. I think that's my time.
I see that 14th of June. Yeah, he has a seminar with him and Dr. Tom, I believe.
I think those two opened up. If Aaron came and did a school with Dr. Tom, that would be phenomenal. Because Dr. Tom will teach you all the basics.
Yeah.
And then teach you all the character work and promo styles.
That's it. Aaron he's got such an incredible creative mind, has Aaron.
But I always get people like that to watch. And if, like Jax Dane, I love Jax Dane.
Yeah. He's coming on the 14th as well, isn't he?
If he's around, I always want him to watch. But I just find if they take the time to watch my match, I don't even want Kinsey and Kylie to watch my match. I love the Page sisters.
Yeah, they are. I mean, we
had since she was 18 years old.
Yeah, they're absolutely incredible. We tweeting, is it still a thing? Tweeting, I suppose it is. We watched, obviously, we watched the Power episode this week when it was 2/3 of Pretty Empowered in that #1 contenders match with Taylor Rising. And we tweeted out like if you want a match that epitomizes women's wrestling at its very best, you watch those, not only those 3, the roster of women in NWA rivals any roster out there at the minute in that division. And the fact of the matter is, Casey, that most of these people are so young and they've got so much still to learn and to know.
Oh, yeah.
What are they going to be like in like 5 years' time?
It's like Kinsey's only my age. She's my age, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And she's the youngest world women's champion ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like, it's a pretty big deal for her. I think her and Kylie definitely coming in. They run KFW, NWA KFW, the first women's promotion ran by women.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting.
When Kinsey came in, I think she definitely changed women's wrestling in the NWA.
Yes.
Her alone brings a different aura, per se, to the women's division.
Yeah.
And Kylie, believe it or not, she's the meaner one than Kinsey. She'll be like, okay, Kenzie be nice to you and then get you in the ring and beat your ass.
Lull you into a false sense of security.
Yeah, Kylie will tell you how she feels when you're just walking around right by her. Sorry. I said, I gave her one wrong look. I said, Kylie, I'm sorry. I did not mean for that to happen.
She'll just turn around and smack you on.
That is incredible. But Fee, as we wrap up, and as it's NWA and you are our NWA queen, I always give you the privilege of the final question on the show. Go ahead and ask Casey final question.
Oh, short and sweet. Are you going all the way in the Crockett Cup, do you think?
I would assume we would. I don't think there's someone else that's bigger than 8. Well, Kratos and Odinson might be. They're pretty big guys.
Yeah.
Would that be a dream final for you then? You versus the Immortals? Would that be the final that you would like to see?
I would love to do that. If it happens, it happens. Who knows who will meet? I want to go to the finals. AJ wants to go to the finals. Whoever meets us there, that'll be one hell of a match, is all I got to say.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see as it unfolds over the next couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah. We got to get past the Southern Six first.
Yeah, not an easy feat, that's for sure. Casey, it's been great. But before we wrap up, tell everybody, what have you got coming up? Where can they contact you? If someone wants to book one of the Cazana brothers, how can they go and do it?
If you want to book the Cazana brothers, you can either hit me up on Instagram. I think my Instagram's KC Cazana. Something sweet and simple. I just started Twitch like 10 minutes before I even came on here. And so that's for Cazana. Book Kurt Cazana, I think is what my email is. Book KurtCazana@gmail.com, or go hit AJ up. AJ usually takes care of all my bookings, really. He's the big brother that books me, takes me along everywhere we go.
Nice. And JCP have a show on the 14th, that's correct, isn't it?
JCP, it's NWA JCP, what is it? Back to the Basics. This is kind of like AJ's baby.
Okay.
He's going to try to take his hat because obviously we can only do so much in the ring. And so he wants to try to do what Dad does, just to see if he likes it or not.
Under Dad's watchful eye?
Dad's watching closely. Dad's the one that asked Jax Dane to our card. He was like, we got to have Jax. If we don't have Jax, we're stupid.
I'm sure that'll be a good one.
I'm sure it'll be a brilliant show. Casey, it's been wonderful talking to you about the NWA. We're going to be watching very closely, obviously, on episodes of Power to see how much you do. We do hope you're draped in NWA gold at some point, and then we can brag that we've had an NWA champion. Well, we have had an NWA champion on an EC3 and Jackson in the past, and Baron von Storm now. I can't say Tim.
I know. Tim Storm is no longer. Baron von Storm lives.
Yes, he does. Exactly. I don't want to get nowhere near that. But Casey, it's been fantastic talking to you. Thank you so much for taking up your bit of your time talking to us today. Guys, this has been the NWA Spotlight / Talking Territories show. He has been one half of the country gentleman, Casey Cazana. She has been the wonderful, the amazing Miss NWA herself, Fiona Loughran, and I have been your host, Adam Cousins, and you have been watching the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. And until next time, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and good night.